everyone and welcome back to another Storytime video. Today I am going to be talking about my first time drinking. Now, that is, of course, alcohol. And before I get into the story today, I would just like to say that I don't condone anyone drinking under the legal age in their country. In America, in North America where I live, it's 21 years old. In a lot of the other places in the world, it's either 18 or 16. But regardless, don't drink before the drinking age in your country. And if you do go out drinking, please, for your safety and everybody else's safety that is driving on the road, please have a designated driver. I sure did. Well, I did, and it surely helped. I will get to that later, though. The whole designated driver thing. However, that is really important if you do go out drinking. Don't drink and drive. That's just very important. Now, on to the story. So, this story takes place about a month before coronavirus kinda closed everything down. So, this happened 4 months ago. I went out on a Friday night to drink at a bar with some of my coworkers. And my girlfriend came along too. Now, she didn't really drink. She's not that big into that. But I hadn't even really drank before. Back when, in 2017, when I went to Italy with my sister and my grandmother, I had a one shot of something. I don't remember what it was, but it was something. Now, I knew that I was gonna kinda experiment and try to figure out what kind of beer I liked, but I didn't know that it was gonna be like this. But so I'm glad that my girlfriend went because she ended up being my designated driver. Once again, I will get to that later. But I had a wheat beer to start out. Now, that wasn't that great. But then again, it may be because I had never had a beer before in my life, but it was not that great. Now, I don't think that all beer tastes bad just because I had one wheat beer. Now, even though I didn't like it, I did finish the whole beer because I feel like it's wrong to waste beer, even if you don't necessarily like that beer when you're trying it. And I was feeling it after the first beer. I had a little bit of a buzz going. And after that, one of my coworkers was drinking cranberry vodka, I think it was, and that looked good. So I wanted some of that. So I had some of that, and then one of my coworkers that this coworker I really love at work, but he was having shots of Crown Apple, and he suggested that I have shots of Crown Apple as well. Now, I remember having two. However, when I went out to eat with my girlfriend the next night and got Chinese food, she said I had 3 bottles of, or 3 shots. So, the details to me are just a little bit murky of that night. Even the next day, they were a little bit murky. But regardless, I had a couple shots of Crown Apple. Now, this coworker paid for one of them, one or two of them, I believe. Now, before I get too far into the story, before I have to backtrack so far, I did order a hamburger and some fries because this place is a bar and grill. So I got I got a hamburger and some fries to kind of help absorb the alcohol. But I finished half of the hamburger by the time I finished the beer, and at that point I didn't want to eat anymore. I didn't want to eat at that point. So I didn't finish off the burger. However, I did have it that Sunday afternoon for lunch, and it was good. It was good. Not gonna lie, it was good. And so back to the story. There was my coworkers were kind of acting a little bit crazy, not to the point where we were causing a disturbance, but we were acting wild, Uh, let's just say that the coworker I was sitting with, that I really love, that paid for the shot of Crown Apple, he is a happy and fun kind of drunk, and so am I. So we were just making jokes, having fun, I guess being wild that way, but regardless, there were a couple of shenanigans in there where uh, my girlfriend had to use the bathroom, and while she was in there, the one coworker that did pay for the Crown Apple said that I should stand up and kiss her in there, in the bar there, which we were sitting at a table. It wasn't at like a bar top. There were 12 of us sitting at a table. So we weren't sitting at a bar top. I just kind of want to help you guys get a mental image of what the scene was like in your head. But after that, there was an older couple. I don't know how old, but I don't want to. Well, they were older than all of us, it seemed like. And after that, they didn't ask me, and I had no idea, but they paid for a shot of vodka for me. Yes, they paid for a shot of vodka for me. I did not know that until the waitress brought us to the table and was like, "Hey, they paid for this shot of vodka for you." It's like I was like, I was pretty drunk at this point, of course, as you can tell, but I was like, "Whoa." I did thank them, and I uh took the shot in one go. Of course. Well, that's how you do it, but uh oh yeah, I was going to mention earlier, which I'm kind of remembering details as I'm telling the story. After that first after the one wheat beer, I I was a little bit staggered in walking to the bathroom, and eventually my girlfriend had to walk with me basically to the bathroom so that I'd be fine. I wasn't about to stumble and fall, but she was concerned that I would fall, and sober me would say, "Hey, I'm fine, I'm not gonna fall." But first off, I'm drunk, and second off, at that point, I'm too drunk to argue. So I'm not gonna argue. But also, it was great that I had a designated driver that she drove me home, which that vodka shot was pretty much the last thing I had uh, in the barn grill that we were in. So she decided that we were gonna go home, or that she was gonna go home, and of course I had to go too, but that sober me wouldn't have really argued. I would have just mentioned, like, hey, I, I kind of want to stay, given my input, but drunk me? No, 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 no. Of course I'm not gonna freaking argue. I mean, I was too drunk to argue. But on the way home, and I'm just gonna flat out say it. So if if you're eating something or drinking, well, mainly eating something, but if you're drinking something too, stop eating or drinking for just a couple of minutes, because I am going to tell it in detail. Not graphic detail, but there's enough detail that if you were eating or whatnot, you would hate me. So, now that you guys are done eating, hopefully, oh, you will be if you're not already. On the way home, I actually made the comment in the car as we were leaving. I was like, "Hey, I don't know if I would have been able to drive home." I mean, I could tell I was like messed up. I wasn't falling over and passing out, but I couldn't walk in a straight line. There's no doubt about that. But regardless, I threw up, I think, twice on the way home that night? Or was it 3 times? Let's see, I threw up there and there. I think just the 2 times, but if I threw up a 3rd time, it wouldn't surprise me. Thankfully, I did get a lot of it out of my system when I threw it up, but I still had a bit of a hangover the next morning. So, I don't want you guys, teenagers, particularly teenagers that have never drank before, to say, hey, getting drunk sounds really fun. The hangover is not fun. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. Now, it wasn't that bad of a hangover. However, I am young. I am only 21. So take that into consideration. But also take it into consideration that I am a lightweight because I do not weigh that much. Now, I know weight does not play a tremendous factor into if you're a lightweight or a heavyweight, meaning if you can't drink a whole lot without getting drunk, you're a lightweight. If you're the opposite, you're a heavyweight, you can drink a lot and not get drunk. I'm a lightweight, so I guess that's something to take into consideration. But regardless, the hangover was dealt with by means of ibuprofen and caffeine, and it was gone by the afternoon, and I could drive okay that afternoon after my hangover was gone. But my balance was off the next morning, and I just felt like crap the next morning while I had my hangover. So, if you're drinking just to get drunk, I don't think you're gonna like the hangover. So, I'm just warning you right now. But yeah, before I end this video off, I just want to say, I do appreciate that my girlfriend drove me home, because once again, I don't know if I would have gotten home safely if it wasn't for her. One of my other coworkers would have taken me home, I'm sure, but still, props to her, and I did tell her this that night, and I told her the next day too that I am very thankful that she drove me home. And see us, guys! I do believe that will do it for this storytime video, and like storytime video, I will see you later. Goodbye, guys! Thank you all for watching.